Get daily updates directly to your inbox plus subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. Could not subscribe? Try again later. Invalid email. Former QPR midfielder Kieron Dyer has revealed that he was sexually abused by his great-uncle when he was just 12 years old. The 39-year-old grew up in Ipswich and was staying around at his nan's house when he fell asleep on the lap of his great-uncle Kenny. And what happened next would scar him for the rest of his life, and he has only opened up about it now. Dyer told the Mail, "I had this thing about denim jeans when I was a kid," he says. "I loved the feel of them and often I'd fall asleep on my mum's lap when she was wearing them. This particular Friday night, Kenny was wearing jeans and I fell asleep on his lap while I was watching television." Image. Birmingham Post and Mail. "Then I woke up. But I was scared to open my eyes. Kenny had slipped his hand down my trousers while I was asleep and he was fondling me. I froze. I was petrified. I didn't know what to do. Kenny must have sensed that I'd woken up because he started shushing me and trying to reassure me. He kept asking me to let him finish what he was doing. It was like he was in a trance. He said he'd buy me loads of chocolate. He pulled my trousers all the way down to my ankles. I knew he was doing something terribly wrong, but I was frozen. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. I couldn't do anything. Then he bent his head down into my lap and started trying to perform oral sex on me. I was still terrified. You know when you have one of those nightmares when you can't scream? It was like that. Eventually, I managed to push him away. I pulled my trousers back up. Don't tell anyone," he said. "This is our secret." Quote. Dyer tried to call his mother, but his great-uncle caught him and he was unable to let her know what happened at the time, and if his father found out, he would have murdered him. Image. Getty Images. Sport. So, rather than see his dad locked up, the midfielder locked himself into his own private hell. Even when Kenny died, Dyer was just left thinking as he saw weeping mourners at his funeral. "Why are you crying for that asterisk?" Quote. Dyer made it as a professional footballer. First with hometown club Ipswich. Before joining Newcastle, West Ham, QPR and, finally, Middlesbrough. He also made 33 appearances for England. His career was blighted by injury and controversy, notably scrapping with Newcastle teammate Lee Bowyer on the pitch. And many saw him as a player that had had too much too soon. The scars of that horrific night stayed with Dyer, and it was during his time at QPR when he was able to release the shackles and tell his story. QPR teammate Joey Barton credits his change in character, in part, to Peter Kay, co-founder of the Sporting Chance Clinic, and invited him to the training ground. Dyer found himself opening up more than he ever imagined and started to understand the damage that night had done to him and how it had affected his career. "If I hadn't opened up to Peter Kay, I would have been alone later in my life," Dyer says. "I would have pushed everyone away. All my loved ones would have been out of my life. I didn't want to show any vulnerability, so I pushed people away. I probably would have lost my children. I would have been on my own living out the years as a sad old man. I was unaware of the person I had become. I thought my stubbornness, not letting people in, going through mood swings, were all just natural aspects of my character. I thought that was who I was. I didn't realize it was the abuse that formed the person I became. I didn't recognize what I was doing. I owe a great deal to Joey Barton and Peter Kay. I know that others have suffered terribly because similar things and worse have happened to them. I know that some have felt so much despair and hopelessness that they have taken their own lives. I'm not sure why that didn't happen to me. I think maybe it was that every time I played football, that was the way to forget the pain and the abuse. Quote, if you have been affected by anything in the story, the NSPCC's hotline is 0800-023-2642 and Child Line for children and young people can be contacted on 0800-1111. NAPAC, the National Association for People Abused in Childhood, can be contacted on 0808-801-0331. In the UK, the Samaritans can be contacted on 116123. Keep up to date with the latest news in West London via the free Get West London app. You can set up your app to see all the latest news and events from your area. Plus receive push notifications for breaking news. Available to download from the App Store or Google Play for Android.